Okay, now should I try it for my
Yeah.
computer?
Try it, Bob.
Sure, Bob.
Try it.
Well, Casey's joined us, so it must be the one that people are. There we go. Yep, it works.
That's that one.
We'll fix the other part a different day, like you said, but they're on. Yay. Okay, we're good. All right, see you in a minute.
Can you hear me, Casey?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
What?
All right.
Yay.
We're all hooked up. Hopefully we'll have about 70 more people show up. Or 2.
Is this it? Is this all we have?
What was that?
That's where you gotta start, right?
Yeah.
Hope for 70.
Yeah.
Plan for 30.
Now.
Right.
Let's see, bam.
Wi-Fi.
Nobody wants to see compliance. Sawyer. Look what I have. Can you guys see that on screen? I hope.
Can you hear that?
Can you still hear me?
We can't hear her.
Wait a minute. Now you can hear me. I muted. Sorry.
Okay,
There we go.
muting on me. No mutiny on the bounty. Okay, we'll start here in just a couple of minutes. We just got set up.
Are we gonna start with me?
Yeah.
We're gonna just fade basic.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
You gotta get into the fireplace.
Absolutely
not.
How about that?
Sounds great. How long?
I don't even know how I got in there.
Okay.
How about everyone else pops up?
I don't know if I like to make time for an hour, but
You were just out there.
I only did a 10-minute-ish presentation because that's what I thought you originally said.
No, that would be for coffee talk
Okay.
or in the TV.
Okay.
This is just gonna be, know before you go is trying to help newer agents understand about different facets of selling a house, looking at houses, buying a house. And just, there's gonna be a lot of questions, I'm sure.
Sure.
You know the answers. I don't.
Yeah, no, questions are great. Like I said, this is more like a quick and it's fine.
And this will be questions. I know it will. I know it will. Hey there. How's Dad?
Oh, little family affair today. That's so cute. You probably, I'm really big ecstatic. For now, that's a now. No.
Cool. No,
It's like, you know.
we'll just.
It's
It's
true.
the big house for me.
Like little ducklings.
Yes, well, fireflies. There's a difference. between
Oh my gosh.
fireflies
Yeah.
And the type of food.
Correct.
It's
And also you have remains to
not like eat it.
It's in the past.
You know, there's something.
Fireplace, which is built in, an insert, which you insert.
No, I know he likes, yes.
And then it gets more complicated from
It's
there.
like
Oh, boy.
a natural instinct.
Cause on your wood fireplaces,
Like when
your old masonry style.
we're obviously like.
Yes, that. Well, that wasn't masonry, but no, factory built fireplace. So there's another complication.
I make
Then there-
the
It just,
inappropriate.
So,
it can definitely go for it.
so you don't just say, it's got a fireplace. Okay.
But I want.
It's got a fireplace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and like
For.
for your industry, right?
Yeah.
What is the I don't go over.
Okay.
It will be in the PowerPoint, like what is a fireplace to
But I found
the
out.
buyer when we sell it?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
comfort,
Yeah.
it's cozy, it's,
The Harry
you know, that's what people think of.
okay.
That's what I think of.
For like coffee, once I get to the middle flavor, so many big.
You know, it's 5% of a value bone approximately.
Two.
Man, what a stress relief.
So if it doesn't.
We'll just have to put my earbuds in.
They
Up
are
and down the aisle.
If you go to the ball stuff.
Chunk of money.
Really, yes, I have heard, I love these like
So it's,
deeps, like.
Yeah.
Anthropology too.
there's a lot to it
Yes,
actually.
Yes, because I love
That's a-
anthropology. I love Target's. Target's pricier.
yes, I'm like Target's getting a little cheaper for
Yes.
purchase.
Really like
So-
there's pant everything, you know. I don't do so much like pants there. I don't know what I would do with
At
that.
Target or Wayne.
Yeah. But tops and stuff like that or whatever. I
That's very cute stuff.
Yes.
All right, we'll start in about 2 minutes. Be careful.
Be careful about what fireplaces.
I'll light you up. Hey, careful.
He's not in there, right?
We could go for the insurance on fireplace too, because we have an insurance.
Oh, yeah. Is there insurance on fireplaces? No. What the? How did you guys find each other?
Sure.
Well, yes.
Yes. Helpful.
Yes.
And I didn't get to meet him last year, but he went to a property I had in Longmont. Because we had a fireplace
Get out.
that was a gas log fireplace, not an insert.
Mm-hmm.
And the inspector said, you need a different kind of flue. You need, what they say,
Play probably.
clay. It needs to be a clear,
Yeah. We need the nice stuff.
Which, correct or not correct? What?
It'd be nice to, Bob.
It's been a while.
We didn't need to spend a 3 or 4 grand.
Oh, yeah, because what you had was still safe, it was either clay or the stainless steel pipe that extended all the way through with no crack, so yeah.
So that's how we done.
Okay.
And
Is
then
that the we injected on different days?
in Longmont,
Mm-hmm. A
no.
lot of traffic, okay.
So, thank you guys for joining. I have Sawyer Overfelt here, who is a fireplace expert. And I had no idea that you could be licensed and insured or all the certifications. I'll just let Sawyer take over here and explain how he got certified for what he does. And guys, it's a huge deal to know somebody like this, because usually when a inspector says, well, you need the chimney sweep. And then the agent will write up, well, we want them licensed and bonded and this and that, and I've never met anybody that had your certification, so this is wonderful. And you know what you're doing, and you're not ridiculously priced.
Thank you.
So here is Sawyer, drum roll. And if you want to stand up here,
Well, I was gonna at least stand in the middle so people could see me a little better.
that's fine.
Hey everyone, so I'm Sawyer. I've been in the fireplace industry for about 4.5 years now. Started out just working for another company and ended up going out on my own in 2024. In that process, I've gotten my NFI Master Certificate, which means I'm certified in gas, wood, and pellet fireplaces. I've got my certified chimney professional license, and I'm always doing continued education as well too, trying to get some more certificates on top of that.
That's
My
good.
my biggest thing for you guys, right, is when you're selling a home, like, what do people think of when they think of a fireplace in a house? Anybody?
Creosote,
Happy,
problems, danger.
happy word.
Yeah.
No,
Warm.
comfort, it's a comfort of. comfort and-
Ashes.
It's something that people often want. We want a fireplace.
Mhm.
Why? Because I want to watch the flames. It's relaxing,
Next page.
like those flames right there. Yeah.
Go to the next
You want me to
page.
go to the next page?
Yeah.
You have to go, Bob. Come on. Why isn't it going? Maybe I'm too big.
Doesn't, okay.
Oh,
Can you scroll?
there we go.
Okay.
Did I go too far?
No, that's the right page.
Next page?
No, no.
Back up, okay, oh, I see. You guys, you have to deal with me, so I'm sorry. There,
You know, so again, comfort, relaxation, warmth, it brings coziness to your home, you know, and those are some key words you can use with your sellers or buyers as you're presenting the house. But what's not really known in this industry is most people don't think to service their fireplace.
ever.
10, 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, I've heard I'm going to a client's house later today that hasn't had it serviced in 10 years. But, you know, when you have these fireplaces, they're just like your furnace in your house, and most people service that on an annual basis. And if you're to follow code, you should also do that same thing, is have that annual inspection and cleaning done every year. So
And let's stop you there.
sure.
What do you charge to just your average regular fireplace, just a wood burning fireplace? What do you charge to come out and check it out without cleaning it if it doesn't need clean? Just to look at it, see if it needs any maintenance and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so my standard inspection without it cleaning is gonna be $199. And that covers a level 2 inspection, which we can talk about a little bit later.
Okay.
The actual cleanings, I charge $289 to start at, and then I do also do repairs, replacements, and new installs if those need to be done on top of anything that's found.
And I know you said, you know, cleaning creosote, which is a dusty looking kind of stuff that you'll see on the fireplace, up on the chimney, is one thing, but if it gets burnt onto there or it looks black and shiny.
Yeah, so we call that glazed creosote. There's 3 stages of it.
Okay.
And that glazed creosote on those wood burning fireplaces, when it gets about 1/8 of an inch thick, is a huge fire danger. That's what catches on fire, and chimney fires happen, houses burn down, and most people don't even know that they have a chimney fire. When it does happen, it just sounds like a jet engine rumbling in their house. Most of the time, it's the neighbors coming and knocking on their door saying, "Hey, you should get out of your house." So
Not a good thing.
doing those annual cleanings will help prevent that from building up or catch it if it does start to build up, and there are chemical cleaners that can help clean that off. Now, to dive a little bit deeper into that, if there ever is a chimney fire, that's where repairs or replacements are potentially needed, because the flue itself can potentially crack or break or expand, and then that's when your system has failed and needs to be replaced. Now, for your sellers, if that happens, you can potentially go through insurance and get that replaced done through insurance. And then for your buyers, you know, that's a different story, but maybe you could negotiate prices with the sale if you find a failed system. Typical replacement or repairs on wood burning fireplaces, you're probably looking at $10,000 to $15,000.
Yeah. I would think so. And it's something that in 34 years I've done this, rarely has anybody ever had their fireplace maintained. Rarely, and I mean maybe 1 out of 1,000. It's nobody thinks of it. They just want to light the fire and watch the ambiance.
Yeah, true. And you know, I can't think of what the actual number is. I didn't look it up this morning, but I know last year the houses burnt down from chimney fires was around 18 to 20,000 homes nationwide.
I will say I came from healthcare and I would take care of a lot of people that a fire happened, whether they were home or not. And it did come from a
chimney fire.
and even the aftermath of the smoke.
The smoke and
They had to treat the home, but when they walked in and found it, you know, they had the encounter
Speak up so everybody can hear you.
with the smoke. Can you hear me? Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm right here.
well, and some of the other things, there's carbon monoxide. Part of the reason you have to have smoke detectors and carbon monoxide sensors within all the sleeping rooms is because of things like that happening, a fireplace or your oven failing. Unfortunately, Colorado had a tragic situation where 2 firefighters passed away because they fell asleep next to their burning fire and died of carbon monoxide, I think in 2007.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, up in Green, what is that, Evergreen?
I think it was Evergreen or Conifer somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a real risk to make sure that these are being looked at. I know in New Jersey, for a home sale, you actually have to have a level 2 inspection completed before you can even sell a home.
And that's wise. No, very wise.
So, is there any questions?
Questions, you guys? Nope, you all knew this, didn't you? Next page.
So we kind of already got into some of the hidden risks. So there's 3 levels of inspections. There's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. The difference between the 3 is your level 1 is all readily accessible parts. So no screwdrivers, no ladders, anything that you can do with your hands that's reasonable. On most home sales, you're going to be looking at that level 2. Your level 1s are for like your customers after they've lived in the home for a year, like a follow-up inspection. Your level 2 does include tools. So I'll run a camera so you can see that picture right there. I've actually got a brush in there and a camera, and you can see the black not glazed stuff on there. That's your soot and the starting of potential creosote.
And can that still ignite and burn rapidly?
Probably not.
Probably not. This one it gets shiny.
Yeah, once it starts getting glazed over, that's when it's
Glazed, okay.
shiny. Yeah, exactly. When it flashes back at you when you take a picture, that's when you need to start looking at treating it.
And does that just happen over time, like it just builds, or is that it gets to a certain temperature, or how does it go from this to
Worse.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's the quality of wood you use, it's how slow you burn it. There's several factors. The way that it happens is the smoke burnt off of the wood goes up the chimney and then cools down in the chimney instead of exiting the chimney. And as it cools, it sticks to the walls and builds up over time and then starts glazing over because it's essentially like tar. It's literally just carbon buildup.
Okay.
So I've always heard, because I used to live in Meeker, which is a very cold area of Colorado. And they said at least once a week, build a very, very hot fire and make sure that you're cleaning out the fireplace as much as possible. Is that a true story or not?
That will help.
Okay,
But really it's just the quality of wood you're using,
Okay.
Don't use wet wood,
right.
Don't let it necessarily do very small, low smoldering fires over long periods of times. But yes, those hot fires, especially when you get a fire going the first time, you want to get a fairly hot, warm fire to help heat up the flue and get the exhaust fumes out and drafting properly.
We don't see near as many wood burning fireplaces as we used to because so many people have gone to gas or gas inserts. But I know those bring their own issues in that I'm sure you'll discuss later.
Mm-hmm. And gas does burn cleaner, but you should still get that cleaned and inspected. You talked about having a gas log set in a wood burning fireplace. And so when I go to look at those, I treat that as a wood burning fireplace. So I'm still expecting the flue, looking for cracks, looking for buildup, making sure that everything is still safe to be used as a wood burner. It's just venting out gas instead.
Okay, good to know.
Um,
Any questions, guys? So far?
No.
No? Should we go to the next page? I got the hang of this. We'll look at that.
Just more about the danger and the cost, when there is a chimney fire, if we want to talk about cost, right, it's going to break those flue tiles most likely. And so when you get into those repairs, if you don't do it on that annual basis and catch it before it's risked, you're looking at spending that $10,000-15,000.
Yeah.
You know, I unfortunately, Diane.
Yes, Diane.
Diane called me about a situation up in Colorado Springs. You know, I didn't end up going out there because I looked at the photos that the inspector sent, and just from the age of it, and you're going to run into these older homes, those flues are not built the way that they're supposed to be built to code anymore. So they're not going to hold the fumes. And I had to tell her, like, just from the photos, you sent me up there, I'm going to fail the system either way. What it was a late 1800s home that had a single brick wall chimney. And what's happening there is the fumes, gas, wood, whatever, if you burn in it, is going to go and potentially seep through the mortar joints and then into the house. So that's one of those immediate failed systems just due to that. So the options to fix it, you know, put an electric insert in there, close off the flue, put a wood burning insert, drop a new stainless steel insulated liner down that chimney, attach it to the fireplace, the new inserted fireplace, and run it up and out. And that way the gases are exiting the house and not being able to leak into the house potentially.
And that's gotta be fairly pricey, I would assume.
The average cost of a wood burning insert is around $6,000. The liners are around $2,000, and then the labor on top of that to get it installed. So it adds up quick.
How long does a job like that maybe take you? A whole day or a couple of days or?
I usually schedule a day or two.
Okay,
So if your seller wants to get something sold quickly and there's about a month, we can usually get you something within that month, and you can still sell that home and make a profit off the fireplace.
okay. Good. Any questions, comments, guys? Come on, fire it up. Let's
When
go.
an inspector comes to a property, like when, you know, like fires, let's say, represent, are they checking these things on the fire?
So what I've found most like house inspectors, they know general information, like if they see cracks or damages or separations, they'll point that out. But they're not gonna be able to, they don't usually carry the cameras on them to actually go up the flue to make sure the flue tiles aren't cracked, so they're not gonna necessarily catch that. They may see a crack in the foundation where they have a big concern about it, but it's really not that big a concern at all. They'll usually catch things like the mortar on the outside of the chimney falling apart, needing to be replaced.
Yeah.
But they may miss things like on your gas fireplaces, like the log set, there's no damper lock in place, so that way the damper can't close all the way. And it keeps it open. So they'll catch some of the bare minimum stuff, but they may not catch some of the major issues that could still cause issues down the road.
Like the house you just did for me in Broomfield. The inspector took a photo up the chimney. But he didn't have a camera that could go all the way up the chimney, but he could see that there was creosote there. And then I don't think he took one down the chimney because there was bird wire up on top.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so. And, you know, and they said, check it out because there was some rust on a little bit of the fireplace, which the damper didn't close all the way, right?
And we got that fixed.
And got that fixed. And so it would allow some water to maybe come down there, but it wasn't like the whole thing was rusted out. But of course, first time buyers are like, oh my God, what is this about?
No.
So.
Or you see rust and you think it's completely gone when
Right.
it might just be some surface rust that can either be scraped up and then repainted or just monitored on that annual basis until it gets to that point where it's too bad.
Right. And that's what you put in the report was monitor it, make sure that it doesn't continue to be an issue or get worse, so.
And there might be some good pictures if you go to the next page.
Next page, here we go.
So this is kind of the stuff that I'm looking for on a gas fireplace that happens to cause other issues, either appearance or things like that, you know, the rust, logs in the wrong spot, You know, I also try to get the size of the unit, make sure just in case if somebody wanted to replace it. So these are the kinds of things that I'll note in my inspections, for details and that might want to be equipped. Now, is this rust a concern on this particular unit? No, but would I suggest to maybe paint it over so it doesn't get worse, so it lasts longer? Absolutely.
That's a question I have. What kind of paint would you recommend using in a
A high temp paint. So there is stove brand specific, it's called Stove Bright. And they have a plethora of different colors. There's the standard black colors, but if you know,
Want to be creative.
I have a blue metallic that I plan on using on some of my stuff eventually.
There you go.
But it's a high temp rated one that though it does smell, it doesn't smell as bad as like automotive high temp stuff. And it's non-toxic as it cures.
Now, what do you, if you saw a fireplace like this, do you do anything with cleaning of it or repositioning the logs or checking?
So if I'm doing my service and inspection, yes, I will clean it. I dust off the logs. I replace any of the ember material that makes it glow and look pretty. And then depending on how bad the rust is, if it's one little spot, I may do some touch-up paint. Clean the glass on top of all that, move the logs in the right spot, and usually try to pull up the manual to make sure, double check all those clearances, to make sure there's no heat issues occurring, and let's see, what are other things that I do on a standard cleaning for gas. I mean, everything else is all the same with any other one.
You check for gas leaks?
Yes, check for carbon monoxide and gas leaks. Thank you.
Okay.
If I can tighten up really quick, if it's just a small little loose one, I'll just put a wrench on the valve and tighten it. Additional charges usually don't come in until it's, oh, you want me to paint the full firebox. You want new logs. You want me to paint the face because the face is faded. Those are usually where I start charging more if it's going to end up being more time. An average appointment is about 2 hours also for me.
That's good. Now, just for my knowledge, to replace logs typically, I know there's going to be all different sizes and shapes and what, but for just your average gas log, what are those logs going to run if you need them replaced? A couple $100?
So it depends on the unit, the brand, and the logs. So the first question is how old is the unit? Can we even find log replacements?
There you go. Okay.
But typically they're probably around $400 to $700.
Wow. Okay. And what are they made of?
Ceramic.
They are. Okay, that's what I figured, but I didn't know.
And they are quite fragile. So if you were to open it up and pick one up and drop it, they would break.
Remember that.
I know.
I've broken a few, it stinks.
Yeah. And then the embers are made of what?
So that the material that goes right on top of the burners and glows, that's actually just a mineral wool like you would buy at Home Depot.
Okay, and you can buy that to replace it. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of those things on the annual inspections that would get replaced is that I replace those ember materials, vacuum them up, and
I've had inspectors tell me it's asbestos. I said, I don't think it's asbestos.
no. Maybe the like original
Maybe, yeah.
but no, it's a mineral wool.
Okay,
Um,
so you're not burning asbestos in your house?
no, no.
Yeah, that's just kind of common sense, but yeah, anyway. Shall we go to the next photo?
Yeah.
Next. Who's having fun? I am. All right, here we go. We got wood burning, we got gas, electric, and pellet.
Yeah,
Guys, up in the foothills, you're gonna see a lot of pellets.
you'll actually see a lot of pellets out on the south side of Denver too, in like the rural country. A
Yeah,
lot of those farmers love their pellet stoves to regulate the heat in their house.
that's nice because a lot of them have a tray and you pour the pellets in it and then it just releases the pellets as it needs to keep the temperature at whatever level you set it at.
Yeah, and for me, when I'm going into a customer's home that's looking for an estimate for a new fireplace, you know, one of my questions is well, what do they want it for? Secondary heat, aesthetics? You know, do they want to use wood? Do they want gas? Easy, more maintenance?
Roast
Something-
marshmallows?
Yeah, exactly. Probably not though.
No, okay, thank
You know, so that's one of the things. A big misconception is you can't have a wood burning fireplace. That's not true. You can have a wood burning fireplace, brand new. You just can't have a open style masonry wood burning fireplace put into a home.
What does that mean?
you. Did you guys hear that?
What?
What is open masonry?
So that first picture, the wood burning fireplace, it's that traditional. There's a hole in the wall, brick chimney.
Mm-hmm.
That's an open style wood burning fireplace. But you can do I know it says pellet stove on it, but that more of a box that sits in the middle of the room or off to the wall, where it's a stove, not necessarily in the wall. Those are completely legal to install still.
Okay.
They are legal.
Legal, yes, absolutely. You can
How
get it
about
permitted and everything.
the kind of rocket ships shaped old metal ones hanging on a chain from the ceiling? Have you run across those? Cause you see those up in Evergreen and Concord.
Yes, I've ran across a couple of those, and some of them are correct, some of them are not correct.
No, we're not.
Again, so if you can find a UL listed one that is EPA code compliant to 20, I think it's 2020, might be 2024 now, it can still be installed. The only thing that I've found that's not being able to be installed right now are your gas units in Boulder. So nothing new gas in Boulder, but if there's something already existing there, it can be replaced for like.
Okay,
Is that because of the fires?
I
that they've had?
it's Boulder.
That's-
That's the answer. No, it's a combination of EPA and
There you go.
greenhouse
EPA.
emissions.
Yeah.
Well, and we're lumped in with gas ranges too, and so the concern is those gas ranges put out so much carbon monoxide when they're burning. If the hood vent ever failed, you're now just pouring all that inside the house. Where these new gas fireplaces are all enclosed and sealed with gaskets. It's a contained system. Fresh air comes in through a pipe, the exhaust exits out a different pipe, but it's the gas appliance, so it's lumped in with everything, and they've just banned new gas appliances
So-
older.
One time I had a client, they had a gas log fireplace in their family room. And she fell asleep on the couch and she woke up barely. And couldn't catch her breath
Headache probably too.
and found out that the gas was not being emitted out of the chimney correctly and she was about almost died.
Yeah.
And that's why you get your annual inspections.
And that's also why you have a CO detector, you guys, and
Yeah.
Yep.
how many people's house do you walk into and they don't have any detectors? It's like, it's crazy. I sold a veteran a house down by Chetfield Reservoir 3 years ago. And the people we were buying from, they lived in the basement of this ranch style house. There was one smoke detector in the whole entire house. And they had a gas log fireplace and they had a gas range. And of course you have a gas furnace and hot water heater. They had one in the entire house upstairs. Nothing in the basement where they slept. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And then they were offended when we said, you know, it's Colorado law that you have to have your detector, at least your CO detectors. And they were like, well, we've lived here. Well, you're lucky you're still living here. But Anyway, that's
Well, yeah.
another story.
And they're not that expensive. You can get a battery operated one that lasts for 10 years for $60 or less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$50 or dead, which would you rather do? Okay,
Anyways.
I got the answer. Next,
I think another thing to add sometimes, so a lot of people have security systems. It will come, like there's packages you can get where it does include like the CO2. So that's something people can look into if they already have it.
Yep.
Because it's not worth the risk.
all right, full safety inspection.
Yeah, so these are the things that I'm looking at when I do my level 2 inspections. I'm looking for structural condition, making sure it's venting properly, any kind of buildups, making sure the damper's working properly, getting in the attics, making sure that the vents are within clearances or have the proper clearances. That's usually one of the biggest one that's probably missed. I was at an inspection for a house sale 3 months ago, climbed into the attic to confirm that the pipe wasn't next to any combustibles, and actually found the brand new
No,
furnace vent disconnected in the attic.
oh my God.
So not even related to what I'm working on, but because I do my due diligence, I was able to find other issues and notify the buyer and the real estate agent, like, hey, you might want to call somebody out for this.
Today,
So it goes beyond just when I'm looking, I'll check out the roof and say something about the roof if it's in not great condition. Also, when I'm up there looking at the structure of the chimney cap, if you go to I think there's a good photo on the next page.
next page, next.
No, keep going. There's some good photos.
There's some good ones. Okay,
That's
that
showing.
looks like hell.
Oh my.
Well, if you look a little bit closer, you can see the brick lining there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much essentially what happened in Colorado Springs, was just that single layer of brick there, which is not gonna contain those gases and make sure the exhaust out properly.
Is that looking up or looking down?
Looking down.
Okay.
So what my assumptions are, what my guess would be, is the builders built it and then they put a clay flue tile on the top to make it look like it was proper, or to extend it up to get a minimum height to help the draft a little bit better. So those are things that I commonly find on older houses, actually.
Okay.
You want to zoom in on
this one or
the next one now?
okay.
Yeah, that green one.
This one?
Yeah. So like this person was complaining that their gas fireplace would shut off after about 5 minutes of use. What happened was a roofer came in, they redid the roof, probably damaged the chimney cap, went out, got a chimney cap that looked similar, put it on, but it wasn't the right chimney cap, and so it would kill itself. But I got into the attic to make sure that the pipe didn't disconnect in there. And so again, just showing that due diligence of what I'm looking for in my inspections.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Anything wrong over here?
No, that's just showing a finished product.
Okay. All right. Next. What is that, you?
Wow.
Look at you.
So safety is a concern. So on those dirtier jobs, I put on a full face mask. I do try to wear my ears to protect my ears. It's also with your clients. I put drop cloths down. I'll tent the fireplace if it is super dirty when I go to clean it. It's the customer and my safety. That's what it's about. Everybody needs to be safe.
Right. And I will say this too, because the house that my client met you at that we sold last year in Longmont,
Mm-hmm.
he had a couple other people come to the house and gave him completely erroneous information. So he called me up all excited when he had talked to you and said, hey, I just met a guy who actually knows what he's doing. And I feel very lucky to have found him and trust him. And he's gonna suggest these things, and that was that.
Well, and I'll also provide photos. I try to, anything that I find wrong, I'm gonna take a photo of and then show it to whoever my client is. I'm not trying to hide anything or false advertise or any of that stuff, because I've ran into a couple of situations where I'll go back and do re-inspections and they're like, well, they're telling us it needs to be repaired, but we don't know why. They won't provide the photos. So that's one thing that you're gonna get out of me is I will take photos and can provide the information lined up with what my suggestions are if
So
needed.
where have we heard that before, guys? How about sewer lines? Like I've expressed a couple of times, I had one in Aurora where they did the sewer line and they told my client to be, you need to replace your whole sewer line. That tree out there has broken the sewer line. And, well, how much is that gonna be? Oh, 25,000. They never showed him the video. He just assumed they were telling him the truth. I said, we're getting it re-inspected. And it was not broken. There was a belly inside the house in a crawl space that was a couple $1,000, not 25,000. And you'll notice that a lot of times what inspectors or people who are inspecting sewer lines, if they do it from the rooftop, will take a video. When they're doing the video, they'll show to make sure that they're at the house, or they'll take, if they're in the clean outs out front, they'll take a picture or video of the address. And I'm sure you have pictures to entrust people or ensure people that you are at the house that you're telling them you're at, and not giving them some false information of another house that was awful, right?
Yep.
So,
You know, and going back to like some of that safety stuff or photos, you know, a lot of the older units you'll find in homes in like the 80s, they'll have those wood burners, usually named Buck, and they're just pushed in that hole. They don't have anything lining it to go up outside of the chimney, outside of the original chimney. And so usually when people see those, they'll just immediately say, hey, this has to be replaced. And what's happening is just like a regular fire, all that stuff goes up in the chimney, then it sits on the chimney, you get your creosote, it drips down on top of the stove. And so those slammers were okay back in the 80s and 70s and even early 90s. Nowadays, because there's not a liner attached to them, they are not to code anymore. So most people, so there's nothing we can do about it in this industry because they were fine when they were put in. Nowadays, that's not a thing.
right.
And it's gonna be suggested to replace. Now, we're not the police, so we can't force anything, but.
No, but I'm gonna say this, guys. 15 years ago, it was rare that anybody buying a house got sewer line inspections. Now, what would you say it is? It's almost everybody. Everybody gets a radon test. People are gonna start getting wiser about doing fireplaces and looking more detailed. Why not thwart that problem off by having it inspected first? Tell your sellers, I know a guy that can come here for a couple $100 and make sure that your fireplace, your gas line insert, whatever, is in good condition, safe operation. Or know about it before you ever go on the market. Because nothing's worse than when you go, well, we gotta replace the whole chimney or whatever. For, yeah, nobody wants bad news, but it better have bad news up front than it is to have bad news in the middle of a deal.
Sure.
Right? So that's my feeling. Not everybody agrees with me, I know that.
Well, I know if I walk into a place and I see something that's already, like, I already am gonna fail immediately, I'm not gonna charge the full cleaning and inspection. I'll drop down to a $99 estimate, finish the inspection to see how much needs to be replaced, depending on the conversation afterwards. And then, so I'm fair is what I'm getting at. Like, I'm not gonna just take people's money. That's not how I wanna run my business and how I wanna grow my business.
No, that's good. So would you say that if you walk into a house that was built pre-1900, that you probably have a problem?
Yes, I The industry is any house you go to, there's gonna be a problem. If there's not, put a white picket fence around it and take a picture. It's very rare to ever find no problems at all, even if it's minor rust or the chimney needs to be tuck pointed or, on Monday I was out doing a crown build. Lady reached out to me via phone call. She wanted to decommission her fireplace because she doesn't use it, didn't want the cold air drafting down. I was like, okay, well, send me some pictures. I'll do a virtual quote. And the top of her chimney from the picture she sent me looked bad. And I was like, no, unfortunately, I do want to come out there and take a look before I give you any more details. And the top of her chimney was falling apart. And so that's going to cause water intrusion and, further damage down the line. And, instead of going out there originally, charging her the $99 estimate, all of that stuff, I did it over the phone for free until I saw an issue and then, move forward from there.
Right.
You mentioned decommissioning, what does that entail?
So decommission for me is I'll cap off the flue with insulation, mineral wool insulation. I'll go into the damper area, put insulation up in there, and then close it off so that way it has to be mechanically removed, meaning some sort of tool is going to be needed to open it up.
Good.
And then seal it off so that way there's no air, there's minimal airflow or cold air coming down through, if any at all. Just sealing it off so it's not a usable unit anymore.
Okay.
How long does that take?
Depending, but I'll say about a half day usually.
So that's gonna maybe run 5 to 1,000,
Correct.
to 1,000.
Correct.
God, you wanna hire me?
All
I was just thinking, this picture, you kind of look like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. All right,
Quick question.
Yeah.
I came into the conversation around 15 minutes late, so if you mentioned it already, I apologize. But I have 2 wood burning fireplaces in my home. How often do they need to be inspected? I was thinking, or cleaned.
You should have them cleaned on an annual basis.
annually,
Annual.
annually, that means every year.
I got that.
Every year.
I'll be right back.
Even if you weren't to use them, you should still probably have them at least visually inspected to make sure that no rust has formed over the last year or nothing's falling apart or came disconnected in the wind or any of that type of stuff too.
Got it.
Or the neighbor's pit python isn't stuck in there.
Oh, that would be very nice.
Yeah.
So, what is a good price for a cleaning and an inspection
I do $289 for my cleaning and inspection.
for both fireplaces or for one?
Per unit, and then if there's multiple units on site, I do a $50 discount per unit.
It's worth it.
So
Oh,
if we round the numbers
agree.
up, let's round the numbers up. We'll say 300 per visit, so 600, so 550 for the both of them, and it's about a 3 to 4 hour visit.
And
Do you come with the big chimney sweep hat like my chimney guy does?
No, I do not. I don't want to ruin my hat, unfortunately.
Oh, Lord, no.
Okay, and how do I get a hold of you?
Scroll down to the bottom.
Here we go. Hold on.
A little bit further. There you go.
There you go.
There I go. Whoa. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I can't say enough about his integrity and his report that I just had done on the house in Broomfield that closed the other day. The buyers had a lot of concern, and all that we knew is the inspector said it's got creosote and it's leaking and there's rust and there's this and there's that. And they, of course, don't know anything about what level of inspection, but he did you call it a level 2 report, right?
Yes.
And it's listed everything. It says working, needs some attention, needs to be,
Suitable for use.
yeah, and they were very comfortable with it. And it's the first time homebuyers. So it was wonderful. And like I said, the house last year, he had done such a great job in explaining everything, and we did a few minor things, whereas we had some people say, oh, you're gonna need a whole new stainless steel flue because it's gas and this and that, and it's gonna be $6,000 to $8,000. Like,
Good Lord.
yeah, and it didn't need to be, so. Not everybody knows what they're doing. That's why I was excited when Sawyer said he could come down and be a part of this class. I also want to bring him in for coffee talk or sponsor our team meeting sometime, just so more people get exposed, because fireplaces are going to become more and more important, especially with what's going on in our climate, because we are so dry. And you want to be making sure that it's operating to the best extent that it possibly can, and you're not releasing embers out into the sky and starting your neighbor's grass on fire because they can't water.
Or even if you have a buyer that really, really wants a fireplace, I do installs also. So
There you go.
you can tell your buyer, like, hey, if this is your home and your location, and the only thing that's stopping you is you want a fireplace,
Bam!
you can say that, hey, we can get one installed.
Right there,
Perfect.
right there. Just like whoever. Just like your little Dawson. Bam! You can put your.
Yeah, so like this picture that's up on here, that's an install that I did up 4 Mile Canyon. It's a
Okay.
gas fireplace.
Mhm. Nice.
Did they have anything before?
No,
Okay.
I mean just the gas line. Yeah.
I have a question. When saying installing new fireplaces, I'm assuming everything is now gas by code.
So actually you can still install wood burners as long as they are fully classified as 2020 EPA certified and meet all the other code requirements and everything like that. You can do wood, pellet, or gas. The only place that I know that currently doesn't allow gas is Boulder City.
Doesn't allow gas or wood.
Gas.
Yes,
Really? Huh.
that's
Okay.
vulgar.
Yeah.
Tell us how you feel.
That's
Vulgar.
how I feel.
Yep, so,
But yeah, so and each one has their own independent, qualities to it. So when I'm out at a customer's house and they're looking at a new install, some of the questions that I ask are, well, do you want it for aesthetics or do you want it for secondary heat? And if they really just want the aesthetics, the cheapest route to go would do an electric insert and have the nice pretty flames off an electric insert. The technology for electric fireplaces has
that's phenomenal.
gotten a lot greater over the last
Yeah.
5 years. There's this and granted I personally can't afford it yet, but if I were to do an electric fireplace and money wasn't a thing, there's a brand called Da Vinci and they have like a holographic electric fireplace, and it looks like the flames are burning right off the logs, but it's also like an $8,000 unit.
Wow, for just an average size.
No, it's I think it's 40 inches wide.
Okay, so it's like a big screen.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 8,000, huh?
Well, that's just my favorite. They have cheaper models that are like a 36 redstone electric fireplace, which would fit into most wood burning cavities. That's probably around $3,000.
And do they have any heating element that help warm the house somewhat?
So it's 5,000 to 8,000 BTUs. So it helps like cut off the chill. I wouldn't say it's gonna heat the house.
Right.
But if it's for a situation where like, well, we want a working fireplace, but this old masonry chimney is condemned and we can't use it. So you use the box, put an electric fireplace in it, get your dedicated wire down, and then you have an electric fireplace And you have the ambiance still, just
Right.
not necessarily the heating values.
You can choose the
Let's
flavor,
face it.
sir.
Yes, you can. And the
Yeah.
bed color and the
Did you
style
pull it
of
up?
That
flames.
is wild. Wait, that's not real?
That's not real.
That is very impressive.
And you said it's Da Vinci?
Yeah.
That Da Vinci.
I can see why it's $8,000.
Don't let
Way
that-
ahead of its time. Are you catching all this, Casey? We're having fun in here. All right.
But yeah, secondary heating values, you're gonna wanna go with your gas or your wood, and like I personally prefer wood because I like the nostalgia of it, the smell of it, the fact that it's never gonna look the same twice. But a lot of people don't like that, the lack of convenience. A lot of people want something they can just push a button and it comes on, which I would go to those gas fireplaces, and a lot of the gas fireplaces nowadays, they come with a remote control that's thermostatically controlled. There's safety features on the fireplace where if you were to leave it on and leave your house for vacation, it's going to automatically turn itself off in no less than 7 days. I mean, sorry, no more than 7 days. So after 7 days, there's a timer on it, shuts the system down so it won't come back on. You can regulate the temperature with the remote itself off of a thermostat. You do have your choices typically of 3 different log styles and backings, and there are some options to make it the way that anybody would want it to look.
How fun.
If someone does have a fireplace that is condemned, is it just still there? They just can't.
Depends on
close
how,
it off?
depends on how much work they would want to do on it to either get it back up to working operation or decommission it.
If they want to decommission it, if the state does. Or
Yeah, I mean, it again, it depends on the situation, but in general, I would just, okay, so the flue tiles are cracked, it needs to be repaired, we don't wanna spend the 10K to repair it, let's just decommission it. So everything would just look like it's there, and depending on the situation, I usually try to make it so that way later down the road, it can be reopened and then repaired later.
Holy cow, this is 39,000 for this fireplace.
What?
That one's probably like a 70 or 80-inch fireplace.
It's been-
Yeah, 120-inch fireplace.
120. It's only $40,000, guys.
My.
Wow.
My.
Yeah, well, they
How
do.
much?
They do gas stuff also.
Okay, they better do a lot of things.
Self
All right, who has
clean.
questions for Sawyer? Who, I hope you guys have all written down his contact information. He also brought business cards, which we'll have in the back where we have all the other vendors. And we'll leave some up front here too, and,
Here's a good one, my territory. So I live in
Yes.
Longmont. My main territory is like Boulder County area. I do not charge an additional trip fee for up to an hour of driving. So like Colorado Springs, I'm gonna tack on some extra money for that drive. I'll go up to Wyoming. I got a couple of people who want me to go to Wyoming. So it's just a matter of location, but the average rate is gonna be that 289 as of today, as long as it's within an hour. So that covers Estes, that covers Brighton, that covers most of the Jeffco area. And then of course, Fort Collins and that way too.
just drive faster.
Are you paying my speeding tickets?
No, that's, guys, I just can't say enough, and, he's been excellent to work with, and I know I'm gonna start implementing more of when I go to a house to look at it for potential listing. Going to be telling people, have you, in 5 years, have you ever had this checked? No, I can guarantee you that's probably gonna be their answer. Let's get it checked. What do you say?
Well, and even simple things by like dusting off the logs in your gas fireplaces and maybe doing some touch-up paint on the back wall will make it pop and look a lot better for any potential buyers.
I mean, I already know with inspectors, I always get the furnace cleaned and certified or checked And every inspector says it's dirty and it needs to be cleaned. Wow, here's an invoice from 2 weeks ago that the furnace was already cleaned. So what are you looking at? Guys, be proactive on stuff like this. Set yourself apart. Okay? That's you too. Everybody have learned some things today and enjoy this?
For sure, thank you,
Yes.
Sawyer.
I love
Yeah, and
these.
feel free to reach out for questions. Anything that's digital, I'll answer for free typically. So if you have some quick questions that I can see through pictures and whatnot, I have no problem giving you some advice on that
And
aspect.
that's wonderful, because,
Thank you.
I'll look at a electrical panel and go, wow, that looks odd, or it's in an odd place, and take a picture, send it to my electrician. And he'll comment on it immediately. So it's nice to have that ability to make your people feel like they're really getting some extra service here. You're not just trying to sell them a house.
Yeah.
Right? All right, guys. Thanks for joining today.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sawyer.
Absolutely.
Man, that was fun. We lit it up. So to speak.
I don't know how Alicia feels.
So to speak. Kind of. Sort of. Oh,
That's awesome.
She's gonna do the.
it's fun to do something different.
Well, it's like walking song.
And thank you for allowing me to come out here.
Well.
Sorry, can I grab one of your cards, please?
Yeah, there's probably a good 30.
Thank you. Perfect, and then, do you, I know you inspect the chimney counts. Do you do custom sizes, or do you source, like if a cap needs to be replaced?
Are you talking about like where a vent needs to be replaced or like the shroud to hide a chimney?
Where that's,
So you have to use OEM products, you can't mix and match stuff.
okay,
So I would do my best to figure out what kind of pipe it is. Like in that picture, where the attic was sprayed with green insulation,
right,
there was that red sticker at the bottom. I don't know if you noticed it.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's the brand and the
Got
size and everything.
Okay.
So I usually try to find that, and then
interesting,
now there are, like, if it's just a cap for wood burners,
mm-hmm.
you have a little bit more leeway.
Yes, so this is our personal home, we have to replace the cap, it's a wood burning.
Masonry, or what does your fireplace look like?
Yeah, it's,
Does it stand in the middle of the room, or is it in a wall?
no, it's in a wall.
Is there brick on the outside of the house? Okay.
No, no. No, it's so funny, this was, I was like.
do you know where you live?
No, it's so funny,
But you're looking at it differently now, you're like paying attention to things.
yes, and this is my husband's responsibility.
Oh,
We,
right.
we divided and conquered
Yeah.
on our house projects.
yeah,
We were told that, it needed to be a custom size.
Well, so if it's a round metal pipe that comes out the top of your fireplace, this is probably what I would suggest to get.
Okay,
It's a vacuum stack. This one is
Yeah.
for an air cooled one.
it didn't sound like it was easy to source.
There's also just the normal style one.
Okay,
And so that particular one, they're universal. They go down inside the pipe,
mhm,
pressure fitted, and they're considered high wind caps, so they help prevent
Okay.
backdrafts.
okay,
If it's a square one,
it is a square one.
then
It's more of a rectangle. It's a triangle.
I mean square, rectangle, same, whatever.
Yeah.
Depending on, you do have to measure for these.
That's it,
Yeah, so you do have to measure for them.
okay,
I know Home Depot has like, oh, this is adjustable from like 18 inches to like 23 inches.
okay,
But yeah, I would measure the cap,
Yeah.
get the inside diameter.
Okay.
The outside's usually an inch more, so standard is like 13 inches.
okay. Okay, we'll go that route.
Yeah.
And then if not, then call you.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you again for
You're very
today.
welcome.
Bob, thank you for setting this up.
And like I said, feel free to reach out. With questions.
Yeah.
Text is honestly usually the best.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Cool. That was good.
Thank you, it was.
See, I told you plenty of questions have come up.
Sure.
We didn't.
Well, it gets you thinking of a lot of stuff, cause like we had those in a lot of our homes growing up. Now granted, I'm a kid, I don't know what my parents are doing all day, but I don't know how often that
They
is.
did it?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't, and all of homes that we look at would have them.
Well, and a lot of people who maybe do it themselves just have the brushes that go up and down and they scrub like the old school
Yeah.
Mr. Poppins style. I use a rotary system,
Oh, you do?
so it scrapes the edges.
Kind of like a sewer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
to help clean it a little bit better.
I would imagine it does.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you, very
yeah.
useful. Thank you,
I
Bob,
would
for that.
imagine it does. Yeah, that's, cause when it gets black, shiny like that, you said you have to use chemicals to do.
Yeah, once it starts getting glazed over, I'll try to scrape it as best as possible. But if that doesn't clean it good enough, and good enough is like 70 to 80% minimum if I'm doing a new
Right.
install,
Okay.
then you gotta talk about using chemical treatments.
What kind of chemical is it? Just an acid chemical?
So there's two. The one that I try to use the most is called Creaway. It's a powder substance. People can actually easily get it. It's activated by heat, and what it does is it gets into all the crevices of the around the creosote, dries it out essentially, and you come back and sweep it out and it falls off.
How long does that take for it to do?
Well, so application's like 30 minutes, but then you need to burn for like 12 hours. So like get some Duraflame logs.
And people would be in their home.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's non-time, it's essentially, yeah.
So winter time's a good time. To probably do things like that, winter time.
So you don't have to worry about
Yeah, and
it burning up because you intentionally want to heat it and that powder on the outside
Dry
it from.
yeah, it dries out that glazed stuff so it can crumble off when it's swept out.
That's it. I bet that's messy.
I know,
No more messier than a regular sweep on it.
No, I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah,
There's also a stronger chemical, like say the flue tiles are cracked. And because you have to use your fire hose, right?
Right.
There's another chemical called PCR, gluten creosote remover. It smells horrible. Don't get it on your skin. It will burn you once you mix it with
Oh,
water.
good.
Yeah, it's not fun to use, but that's the other chemical treatment to use. It's a little bit quicker if you don't have to burn anything. It just takes about 12-24 hours to dry it and you come back through and sweep it out. And it's about that better.
Interesting. Interesting. Where did you park out here or? From?
Yeah. I didn't see any
Park was out
here.
Full that door.
Thank you.
thank you for fixing.
Nice to meet
Yeah.
Here we go, we'll put,
Sure. Good. Sure, definitely. Yeah. Grab a handful so you can put them wherever. Thank you, everyone. And thank you again.
Very Monday. Come on in.
Before you go. I was just a little late. Sorry. It's small. Nice to meet you. You can make it happen.
Yeah, let's talk about animals and some other people. My friends call me Dave Chris. It wasn't my favorite. Thanks, guys. She's right around the corner.
Okay.
She's this way. Good, how are you doing? Thank you. Yes. Seriously, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I believe in terms of what is this with SBA, I don't know, sleep or either. Yeah. This way, and wow. It's absolutely. Yeah. Well, I was good to see you guys. It's like you're all right. And that's something.
So essentially it's a small place. Yeah. You know, my wife should is then to figure out how to do something by time. Oh,
I are too.
People are really, really good. I mean, you're asking, you gotta have some. What you see. And my CCD is certified, it should be that. But. I know. That's more than we have. Awesome. Well, I don't know.